Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Hitman Hideout podcast. I'm here today with, of course, Reaper, myself, timothymark, and our guest co-host today, Filip Ratkovic. So you may have seen him around. Hey. Yes, welcome to the podcast. Great to have you. It's been a little while since...
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. You may have seen him around as the head moderator of the All Things Hitman Discord channel, if you hang out over there. So yeah, welcome Filip.
Or basically in every stream.
Yeah. Especially back in, I think it was 2018, or maybe 2019.
OG fan then.
Yeah, no, I think Filip's been a regular face around the channel for a long time, so definitely it's a great honour to have him on. Yeah, and it's really cool to finally speak to you face to face as well. Well, yes, as close as we can to that.
And when last time you had Big Mooney, and before that you also had Fraud, so I have no suspicion people will be thrilled that I'm now in here after like a big YouTuber and big speedrunner. I'm sure, and I loved it. Before when the Big Mooney episode came out, people in Discord were asking, who's gonna be next? They're
gonna be like, who's this Filip guy?
And I'm just gonna
No.
From our research,
they're not gonna be disappointed at all.
Yeah. No, but we've said from the outset that we want to get, community members on of any profile type in the community. So
absolutely. Yeah, we don't care if you have someone has no subs anywhere, isn't like public face.
I have some subs. I don't have 300,000. Guys, I'm important. Please don't leave.
No, I think you're important. From our research, you've been on some interesting TV shows and stuff we've found on YouTube.
Yes.
Would that be accurate?
Yes, I do have some kind of a career in comedy.
Yeah.
As a comedian, and some people think I'm funny, some people not at all. Some people think I'm not funny at all. Oh. But you can see me on YouTube, you can see me now on Twitch, which we are gonna get to. And I was on Got Talent for Croatia, which went quite well.
That's what I saw.
Awesome. Yeah.
Because around 1 million views on YouTube as well. So
that's an incredible achievement. Yeah.
And for Croatia, which has 4 million people, that's
wow.
It's a bit larger because Balkan, but
yeah. And you've appeared on like quiz shows and
yeah, of course, quiz shows. I'm a regular quizzer. I love quizzing. It's my favorite hobby by far. I do it all the time, and I've been to quiz shows. I never got any proper money. I did get some. I never got anything much. Sooner or later, hopefully.
And you've posted some of the highlights from those shows, those guest spots on your YouTube channel. Right?
I do have something on YouTube. Some stuff got taken out because copyright, but some stuff is still on YouTube. I mean, if you find me, if you Google Filip Ratkovic, you'll find me. It's easy. There are clips, you can see it. There's another Filip Ratkovic, but he's a football player, I think, and he should football harder. He comes like 10 times slower.
Oh, wow, okay.
There you go.
The result's over, yeah.
So you you got the same cloud as Big Mooney and Fruit. Yeah, I think you're up there.
Well, I don't
Big
think...
Mooney call me for some collab. Fruit also call me, we can collaborate and make Big 3.
Yep.
What was the main premise of this episode, Tim?
Yeah, so recently on the the All Things Hitman Discord server, Filip has been spending a lot of effort running a bracket competition, which, if you don't know, is where you pit two different things, in this case Hitman levels or maps, against each other each week, and people vote. You try and find the best map over time, because it whittles it down slowly, and you end up with getting harder and harder votes. And I do believe that Sapienza won in the end. Is that correct, Filip?
Yes, World of Tomorrow won.
Yeah, was that any surprise?
Which was people were shocked. People were losing their minds over it. They couldn't believe
were they? Because I suppose it's now kind of it's universally become the kind of conventionally most popular level in the Hitman community.
Yeah, I think wherever you go, people mention Sapienza.
Yeah, it's a fan favorite. Yeah, even the devs themselves
They seem to like
pointed it out, haven't
yeah,
they?
they seem to replicate it also quite a lot, trying to take some of the highlights
And hopefully,
always when they talk about the developers, when they talk about other maps, they always reference Sapienza. Like when they were talking about making up the bank, they were talking about we didn't want to have the virus situation from Sapienza.
Yeah.
Or when they were talking about streets, they were talking again about Sapienza and Sapienza streets and comparing them to that. It's their benchmark.
It is a benchmark. Yeah, absolutely. Before we start talking about, we want to ask you a little bit about how the process was for the bracketeering competition on the ATH Discord. But before we get to that, we have to ask you our staple question that we ask everyone we have on, and that is like, how did you get into Hitman initially?
Well, I don't really remember it because I was like 6, I think, when I played the first game.
Oh, okay.
I think
Wow, that
just
is
around or something. Yeah.
Do you remember which game it was?
I had an Xbox, original Xbox that. Yes, I was Assassin, same as you.
Cool.
That was my first one. That's why I played on PC. But I didn't really get into it because I didn't know English and I couldn't.
Okay.
I got stuck. I got stuck in the China level. I think it's in China, where you have to go through first that snowy area to that tower.
Oh, the Japanese
Hidden
level.
Valley.
Hidden Valley.
Japanese?
Yeah.
And I couldn't get past through that, and then I stopped with Hitman, and then I got back to it when I was like 8, and I had Xbox with blood money.
Nice.
Which is my favorite still to this day, and I still didn't know English, but it's just so well made that you don't even have to know English. You just observe, and you can see the patterns, and you can figure it out. It's just
that's
a perfect puzzle game.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's pretty commendable puzzle solving, because obviously the dialogue does a lot of prompting for the player in,
Yeah, but some things, people are, if they're patients, they're going to follow the doctor or things like that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know that
that's
as
true.
a kid.
Yeah.
If a god does this, you can't go wrong.
Using hand gestures.
Like, I'm quite smart, and I figured out this means don't go. I figured out if I have to stay. Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's when I got hooked. And then I took a break on Absolution. I didn't instantly play Absolution. I played it a few years after, and I got back into it with 2016.
Yeah, right.
And 2016, as
you,
most of us did.
Did you buy Hitman 2016 or Hitman 1 the year of release, or did you?
I think I jumped in on Marrakech.
Marrakech.
Even though it came out, yeah. I didn't even know it came out because I'm not that much into gaming. So I didn't see the news. I didn't even know the game was out. And then I got into Marrakech and I continued on. Bangkok came next and it was like, meh. So I was like, should I continue? But I didn't continue and I'm still here.
Yeah, still here. Well, thank God you continued.
I'm sure your dislike of Bangkok will reflect in the bracket coming up, because that's the first. That's the first map ops.
Cool.
Yep.
Can't wait to get into that.
Yes.
So can you just briefly describe a little bit, Filip, about how the process was with organising and what the interaction was like?
A few people got to me and asked about, can we have the map competition like bracketeering? And I was like, let's make it. So I just found the list of all the maps, and not all the maps, we went with all the missions, so I didn't want to leave anything out, so we went with all the missions. And I made brackets, generated randomly, AI generated them, and it was kind of like meh, because some good maps were fighting instantly and were instantly eliminated, and then a bitter pill went through the second round, and a bitter pill is such a boring and I was so tempted to change it, but I was like, I'm not going to change it. Let's stick to this. And it ended up quite well. I think people will.
Pretty receptive. Yeah, it seemed like it really. I mean, I was kind of like observing as it went, and it seemed like it did really well. So, again, thanks so much for organising that. And
it was a pleasure.
Yeah, I think all the Discord members. By the way, if you're not sure what the Discord we're talking about is, it's the All Things Hitman Discord, obviously for the YouTube channel. So check out the link below. It'll be in the description. And are you thinking of holding anything similar in future, like a new competition?
Yeah, we're gonna definitely have more bracketeerings. We have to decide on what.
A theme.
Community will vote on it. Yeah.
some like best targets or something.
Yeah, best targets.
Yeah,
would be so
bro,
good.
best targets,
Yeah.
best kills, and best. Yeah,
Yeah.
best
So
gadget. Best.
if you're listening,
There's plenty of content in Hitman. That's.
Yeah.
so if you're listening, anyone's listening or watching, and you want to partake in future bracketeering comps that Philip organises, make sure you join the Discord. And speaking of plugging, Philip, you mentioned before you started recording that you are going to start streaming. Is that right?
Yes, I'm soon gonna be a Twitch streamer. It's still setting up, but just please join me. I want to become affiliate before putting any effort in. That would be my dreams.
Cool.
So yeah, please follow it.
And what's your Twitch?
The link is probably gonna be in description.
Oh, definitely, and in a pinned comment as well. And what's your Twitch channel name? It's just
It's my name. It's Filip Ratkovic.
awesome.
Perfect.
It's simple branding.
Awesome. Yeah, and you showed us.
Yes.
You've got a very cool 007 inspired logo as well.
Yes, it's 007 inspired. I hope people will think it's cool and not cringe. And
No, man, it's awesome.
Very far cringe. You're good. Yeah.
Just look at all this crap behind me, man.
yeah,
I don't think it's cringe. Embrace your nerddom. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. Wish you well with that. Do you know what kinds of games you want to start stream from the beginning?
yes, I'm definitely going to be streaming a lot of community games because I'm not a big fan of playing alone.
Yeah.
I'm usually playing when I'm playing something. I'm playing Hitman or I'm playing community games with some friends, and it's probably going to be that. But expand your circle. Play as COVID ended, more and more people are going out, and it's harder to arrange just plans with your friends. So let's bring in some new people in.
Yeah, cool.
That's cool.
That's a really cool idea. Wish you well with it, and I'll definitely tune in from time to time. I feel like I owe you many hours of viewing.
I always say I have 600 hours in Hitman, and I have 600 hours of watching Hitman because of you.
Yeah. That's true. That's so true. Yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Should we get into the bracket now?
Yeah,
Cool.
Yes.
sounds good.
Alrighty. So, disclaimer with this bracket. I don't really know what I'm doing. So, I think there'll be a bit of jank with it. There's a few things where it's like 3 of the rounds will have 3 maps against each other, but we'll figure it out. Maybe.
Yeah, it's going to be awkward if we all choose a different map.
Yeah.
We might have to flip a coin or something.
We'll figure something out. Yeah. I'm probably doing this wrong, so you can get mad at me in my DMs if you want, but I don't know what I'm doing. Alrighty. Yeah. So this is all completely random. I just put down the maps randomly next to each other. There's no I'm not trying to put the maps I like next to maps that are awful or anything. So yeah. First round we're doing all 21 maps from the Hitman franchise, including the ICA facility. So worth noting. And this is maps, not missions.
And
I think
World of Assassination
Facility obviously has 2 levels. One
it is 2
from the yacht,
levels, yeah.
and we're gonna ignore the yacht one because it's crap, and we're just gonna, I guess.
not the freeform training.
And we're gonna avoid a rival where you land on the landing pad. Yeah. Alrighty. Cool. So the first round is Bangkok versus Isle of Scale. What do we think there? I got my vote instantly.
Oh, I think I already know the way it's going to go because I know you guys both hate Bangkok. Yeah, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Isle of Scale easily. I think Bangkok I liked for some of its mission stories and also for the art's nice, but pretty much everything else about it is too linear. It's not sandboxy enough. There's too many weird restrictions, and the master mode on that map is terrible. So. And they also put the camera recording box in the worst possible location on any map. Yeah. So, yeah, Isle of Scale is just a great kind of like final mission of Hitman 2. Not really the final, but yeah. I don't know, it was a lot better.
So yeah, before I even cast my vote, I just first want to say that I like all Hitman maps and I enjoy them all. But that's also a lie, and I fucking hate Bangkok. Like, it's such a piece of crap. I mean, I don't know if sparing is fine. I didn't ask if sparing is fine. Hopefully it is. Can I swear?
That's all right.
Oh, that's right.
No problem.
We had Big Mooney on last time,
Yes.
so
Yeah, like I'm gonna drop the mask here for a bit. When I was 14, I bought a pack of condoms which expired before I got to use them, and that money was better spent than money on Bangkok. I can't stand Bangkok. It's just so poorly designed. Like half of the map is literally a copy of the other half of the map, which is so boring. Half of the hotel is same as the
That's a
other
good
half
point.
of the hotel.
It's like a mirror.
It's
of
got
itself.
hotel rooms.
yeah, that is
but-
a valid point.
Yeah. And the hotel rooms don't have closets in them, which always annoys me. Like you want to hide the body and you can't hide it in a hotel room because hotel rooms don't have closets in. And
Yeah, I've never.
closet
yeah,
is
that's
one
a
thing
good
you
point.
have in every hotel room. It's so weird. And usually they pay attention to that kind of stuff. That's what it surprised me. I usually is like, let's put stuff that's usually in the real world. Like let's put them in the game. Let's make it as realistic as possible. Like as real. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they messed it up so hard with Bangkok. And yeah, it's against quite limiting in the ways you can move around. And I don't even forgot what the other option was, but I'm not voting for
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It was Isle of Scale, but I know your vote.
I think
yeah.
I think as an overall package, the Hitman 1 maps will always be the best out of the trilogy. So I think because Bangkok is in that package, that's why it holds a lot of sentimental value for me. Because I have very fond memories of playing the first game even before Hitman 2 came out. But I have to. Everything you guys are saying is absolutely true, and despite the fact that I'm not too fond of Isle of Scale as a mission, I definitely think the targets as characters are more memorable from Bangkok and the Washington Twins. I think
you're right there.
I think some of the mission stories are very memorable from Bangkok, like 47 becoming the drummer, for instance. And just the being able to like become a technician and remix the song to get Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Drummer King is one of
yeah.
my favorites.
Yeah, there are aspects of
Drummer King is
Bangkok
one of my favorites.
that I really like. But I think from as you say, Philip and Tim, as you say about the location of the camera, hard drives, and from a level design, it's very, very poor.
And it's very hard to climb it. There's only stairs once, and there's only one or two pipes already. Like if you go on Paris has so many pipes around, you can climb from the outside. Bangkok doesn't.
In Paris, the pipes are legal, whereas in Bangkok, it's illegal to climb the pipes, which is a weird difference. I have no idea why they did that.
Really strange.
And the thing that also I don't know, like in Bangkok, this is my personal taste. The mission story where you actually wait for him. With a gun.
Yeah,
I don't like that because I think that's out of the character. I think that's like torture and
out of 47's character.
Torture. And 47 is professional. He would just kill it. He doesn't. It seemed. I mean, I did it for the challenge, but he's begging for his life, and then you're gonna shoot him. It just felt, it felt like torture, and it made 47 more like psycho than just a cold-blooded murderer.
Interesting thought. All right.
Yeah. I suppose you could say the same about the mission story then in Sapienza. Sorry to go off on a tangent here, but where Francesca meets the golf coach.
Yeah, but you're disguised there, so that's different. So he
is 47 not disguised in the Bangkok mission?
No, you just come as yourself, and you're holding a gun as
yourself. That's right.
It's literally torture.
Yeah,
it's
good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's all weird.
Sorry, it's been so long since I've done that mission story. I seem to remember being in a disguise, which I probably was.
You can do it in any disguise.
You can do it in any disguise. Yeah, good point.
Alrighty, so we got Isle of Scale for this round.
Yeah.
Cool. Round 2, Carpathian Mountains versus Paris.
Are we even gonna bother going into discussion there? All right. I just still want to note that I think a lot of people are too harsh on Carpathian Mountains. I still think it's a great mission. I personally am a huge fan of it, and it certainly wasn't easy coming up with a strategy to do it silent assassin suit only. Despite its linearity, I think it was still a really fun mission to play and I understand that once you know what to do in the SASO context, you've got it down pat forever. But it is a linear map, so I don't know.
I don't hate Carpathian like some people. Yeah.
I don't hate them either. I just don't think they are a Hitman map. Like, it's just a finale, but it's not actually a Hitman map. It's not like.
It does feel like a Hitman finale though, for better or worse.
Yeah,
Hitman 2, Hitman 1, like Hitman 1347, Silent Assassin, and Blood Money all end with a giant shootout and no stealth whatsoever.
Yeah.
And now Hitman 3 does as well. So yeah.
I saw it more as like an epilogue map.
Yeah.
Than a proper map. I still think it. I still don't regret it being the final mission of Hitman 3. That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, this one goes to Paris.
Yeah, Paris.
Got it. Whittleton Creek versus Dubai.
Ooh.
I think I'll go with Dubai here because I think Whittleton Creek is, in my opinion, the most overrated map. So, like, I'm not a map designer, but I play one on TV. No, but I'm an enthusiast, and I like when there's much content, like a lot of content. And Whittleton Creek just felt kind of empty. It is only 15. I think it was the first time we had a 15 mastery level, beside the training ones. Yeah, there was less content then, and I just felt it underwhelming. Yeah, I prefer New Life from Blood Money.
I think that's where it gets a lot of its hype from. Or a lot of it's being a direct, obviously A New Life being the direct inspiration for that, the whole setting and theme of that map. So that's probably, and I probably agree with you that it's a pretty overrated map.
I think it's enjoyable, but is sparse with content. Is the main issue with it. It's clear that it looks like a casualty from the Square Enix split a bit. I imagine it was going to be bigger. Like, for example, that closed off road. To me, it always feels like you could go down that road further to that little in the distance.
It does feel a bit restricted in that respect, doesn't it? And it's kind of just very kind of the fact that I know suburbs are always in grids most of the time anyway. But the fact that its design is that very kind of flat grid locked.
Yeah, it's almost a parody of American suburbs where all the houses are exactly the same. Yeah.
I still really enjoyed the party and everything, and we have to make. We have to make mention of the. Oh, sorry, you go, Philip. Sorry.
I wouldn't say I still enjoy it, but it's just a bit repetitive when all the houses are the same, and it's got a lot of empty walking just to put down the city blocks. Without the.
Have to make special mention to the real estate mission story though.
That's a good one.
That was probably the best bit of
good
that
point.
whole map.
Yeah. All right, we'll give it to Dubai then, I guess. Yeah. I quite enjoyed Dubai. I like the especially the skybox, like seeing all those clouds and buildings in the distance. I really like that art design.
Dubai was. I literally got goosebumps the first time I saw that opening cinematic.
Yeah.
Like as they're skydiving down to.
It is a good one.
It's so cool. And then you just get and the soundtrack when you walk through the curtains.
Yeah. Alrighty. Hawke's Bay and Haven Island.
Hawke's Bay and Haven Island. Oh.
Yeah. Personally, for me, Haven Island. Yeah. I'm very much a tropical beach type person, so I'm instantly towards that. Although I also love like New Zealand and Hawke's Bay, and but it's clearly a small training sort of mission.
Yeah, we all know you two are Australians. New Zealand didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, that's true. I'd agree. I really have a soft spot for Hawke's Bay. I think it's a very unique map in its whole like the idea of 47, just basically breaking and entering. And do you remember playing that map for the first time and not knowing there were going to be any enforcers around, or
yeah,
that was interesting.
And just finding yourself surrounded suddenly.
Yeah, exactly. You're not sure if you're going to be ambushed or if you're going to find, or what you're going to find, or
it was really creepy. And when you open the garage door for the first time, it's scary.
And to find dead bodies. I loved it because it also got so many ways to kill the target. It's insane.
Yeah, that's true.
For such a small map, it's got so much content. It's the poisoning, the food, then in the showers, the psycho kill where you wait for the glass to fog. And then
yeah.
when the wafers, when her boyfriend can't see you when you kill her. That's also amazing mechanic. And I'm also sad that he didn't use it again. It's just used there, established there, and never used again.
You're right. Yeah, they only use it in that one map. Interesting. Yeah.
And then you can also torture her to the extent that she runs away, which I never did myself, but I saw people do it online. When you actually terrorize her and she keeps running away, and then she runs away to the sea and
drowns. Yeah, that's so dark. Yeah.
It's but it's crazy how many options, how many things they put into basically a tutorial level.
Yeah, when you put it like that, when you describe it like that, it's very rich in content, isn't it? I suppose.
And there's also a hidden path, like from the garage to this room where you have to turn the painting. I think,
that's right. Yeah,
and you can poison it, or you can shoot them from the roof. There's a roof window that's also cool. Or in the sleep, it's
a lot of variety in the methods for taking out targets for sure.
Yeah.
So are you guys voting for Hawke's Bay then?
I think we're just highlighting its positive. I feel it might be. I'm still going with Haven.
Yeah, I'm kind of talking more about the one I expect to lose, because we're going to talk about the one that goes forward.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I think it's. I would say that it's the most underrated map in all of Hitman. Hawke's Bay.
Hawke's Bay. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's easy to overlook all the quality content that you just described, because a lot of people just focus, including myself, because I forgot about all that stuff that you just mentioned. I always just think about how it's just one house on this massive beach, and that's kind of how I think of it. But when you actually think more about all the kill opportunities and the kind of eeriness of it, and for a tutorial mission, it's a pretty kick-ass map.
Yeah, it's really well done. Yeah. But Haven has its problems with it, the sparseness of it being at odds with like the.
I don't like Haven actually. It's one of my. I mean, I like it, but it's one of my least favorite maps.
And Tyson's Mansion is, I swear, the most buggy area of any map in the entire trilogy. In my experience,
also very boring.
Yeah.
It's also so. It's
his routes very boring. Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure the only reason I'm biased towards Haven is because of the setting. Because I feel like lots of the gameplay is kind of I do like the USB mission story and the little different paths that can go.
But what I don't like is there's two mission stories where you have to steal the USB. So that's kind of two different mission stories, and on both you have to steal the USB.
Is there? You might. Oh yeah, because there's one where
it's the Tyson. It's the Tyson one where you become his main guard, and there's the one when. What's her name? Tatiana is.
Ludmilla? Yeah.
Ludmilla, yeah. Or it's that one. And it's counted as two different missions.
Oh, I see.
Just in general, people are always complaining how Hitman 3 has less like mission stories. But in Hitman 3, those two would never be separate. It would be, one would be a mission story and the other one would be for you to figure it out yourself. And here they just made it a mission story.
Yeah, okay. So what are our votes here?
I'm Haven.
All right, Haven's in. Alrighty. Next we got Mendoza versus Sapienza.
Oh,
that's a tricky one.
Mendoza's the Sapienza of Hitman 3, isn't it? I mean, in terms of aesthetics and just vibe. I
really like Mendoza, but I think Sapienza has a lot more stuff in it. And this is the problem with Sapienza. It has 4 missions on it, so it's really there's a lot of overwhelming content.
I think let's try and judge it just as try and not to think about those bonus missions, because then obviously Sapienza has a huge unfair advantage.
Yes. Landslide is my favorite mission, maybe in all of Hitman. From Sapienza, I would prefer it to World of Tomorrow. It's so pretty. It's aesthetically, the town is used perfectly, and the target is memorable. Kills are great, and I think it's the best thing they ever did. Still.
And Sapienza, like there's in so many other maps, there's like areas that you just think of as being wasted space. Like say, for example, Mumbai, you've got the train yard, and the rubbish tip, and the construction yard, and it's just all this space that's not used at all. But then in Sapienza, everywhere you go, there's something interesting to see or to explore or to investigate. Even just the little apartments you can like wander into.
The problem I have with the main mission is that it's so like people praise it for that as well, and I get that as well. But it's everything in the mansion, so you actually go find like the mission stories to start them in the town, and then you go to the mansion. And city is not as well used in the World of Tomorrow as it is in Eventide, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
But Mendoza, like this is the tough one because I think I broke Mendoza more times than any other level in Hitman. Like all other levels combined, maybe, because Mendoza is so buggy. Its mission stories can get so buggy, and they don't have the outcome for everything. So if you don't kill somebody as they are supposed to, they just glitch out. Often, that's.
Oh really? So I haven't encountered it, but also I haven't experimented much with Mendoza overall. So I'll probably start running into this stuff eventually. Yeah.
I experimented with. Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say I agree with Tim. I haven't encountered I've heard lots of people say that Mendoza is like really really buggy. I haven't personally encountered that many bugs compared to other maps. But yeah, I'm definitely believe it is.
Like mission stories don't just the
Flow.
guide one where you guide them. Yeah, I mean you can break it so many times if you distract someone on wrong place.
Oh, really?
Or they don't have solution, they just don't know what they're doing, and then they glitch out and stand there.
Yeah.
Or if you do the spoilers are fine, I guess it's been 6 months almost.
Spoilers is fine.
The Diana kill where Diana stabs Don.
Yeah.
And if you don't kill him till the end, she just stands there. She doesn't have the.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, she's gonna stand over his bleeding body till they find her and shoot her. And that's also kind of because I remember like playing the other games and Mumbai. If you steal Kashmirian's rifle and he sees it, he starts panicking and what happened, and then he leaves. He goes to the bus and he thinks Kashmirian. No, what's the name of the main? What's the name of the target? That's
Rangan? Or
no, not Rangan.
The Maelstrom?
Maelstrom, yeah. And he thinks Maelstrom is sabotaging him, or Maelstrom found him. And he starts panicking. And I tried that because I wanted to see what happens if you take his rifle and he realizes he doesn't have one. And I thought there would be no script for that, but there was. And here
really?
There's just no script for many things. Yeah.
Oh, what? So the Kashmirian, sorry, he ran all the way to
he ran to the bus station. Then he's and if you steal his rifle and he doesn't see you and he notices his rifle is gone, he's gonna panic. He's gonna think Maelstrom did something. That he's messing with someone too powerful, and he runs to the bus station and hopes like he doesn't kill him.
Oh wow,
that's so cool.
There's a script for that. Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
And in Mendoza there's just nothing. They just stand there and glitch out. So that's why I find Mendoza.
Yeah.
You know, like in Miami also, if you sabotage everyone, so there's no winner of the race. Announcer comes on, host, and he says, yeah, we don't know what happened, there's nobody came, everyone disappeared, we don't know why there's no winner taking the trophy. But you know, they have the outcomes. They knew if that could happen, we're gonna have the outcome scripted. And here they just, it feels rushed to me. It doesn't feel like
they haven't factored in every eventuality.
Yeah. They didn't. I always felt they were a step ahead of me, and here I didn't.
Yeah.
It likely was rushed in some ways, I imagine, or at least there wasn't the power, like amount of people behind it to like iron out all these little details. I imagine. Yeah.
I mean, but then again, Hitman 2 was rushed more probably, and those things, Mumbai and Miami are in Hitman 2, and they dealt with them. I don't know again, but I didn't enjoy it because usually I enjoy those moments the most, and here those moments just.
It was still a very visually. It was an amazing map, Mendoza.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So beautiful, especially when you look out over the mountains in the distance and everything. I was so captivated.
Sniper is fun to do. Sniper mission is original. It's amazing. Proxy kills so many of them. So cool.
Yeah, the sniper. Mechanic was cool. Yeah,
the whole design is also so good. You can move around. You can approach from so many different ways.
Yeah.
It's like vertical, but so many different approaches.
Yeah.
And Diana around also moving around. Yeah.
Diana was cool. Diana was cool because they put a lot of effort into coding her that shows she was kind of your ally. I remember one of the devs saying that they couldn't do that naturally in the engine, so they had to put a lot of work in. That was quite good.
And I love all the prompts
Yeah.
she'd on the tour. I love all the prompts she'd give 47. You know,
Oh yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like for example, when the target was in the freezer, and Dinah said, "Oh, there's a safety warning over here
Yeah.
that says you won't.
Yeah.
No one will survive sub-zero temperatures for too long."
Yeah, it was good.
And how she when they're taking the photo beyond the smashing thingy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then she's like, "Oh, I think I blinked. Let's check."
Yeah.
Nobody was.
Oh, that's so good.
I enjoy both maps, but I'm going to give it to Sapienza.
Yeah,
It's a classic.
Yeah, I think Sapienza is
Yeah.
sure better.
Alrighty. Next is Chongqing and Marrakech.
I'm gonna give it to Chongqing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
I'm torn. I like Marrakech a lot more than most people, I think. I don't know why. I think I just vibe with it well. And I played it a lot. Like the day it came out, I played it for like a week straight. I don't know. And I saw lots of people complaining about it at the time. And I was like, I don't know. I like this. I just like this. I can see all these flaws, but I'm like, I think I personally liked it a lot. Although, Chongqing is also really good, and we've been asking for a rainy atmosphere for so long in the new games, and they finally delivered. That was actually based on feedback as well. So yeah, there's a lot to like about that map.
I think what easily makes Marrakech not. I think if Sapienza didn't exist, Marrakech would be appreciated a lot more. But because it's basically because it's going to be really hard to match Sapienza being the map directly after it. So, and I think in a lot of ways they're quite similar because they're both set in a kind of like Mumbai. They're set in a kind of metropolitan area. Yeah.
I enjoy Marrakech a lot because there's a lot of empty walking between the targets, but it's interesting. Something's going on all the time. People are yelling. There's plenty of colors. There's things are happening. There's not enough mission stories. There's not kill opportunities, but things are happening. You can just stand there and watch. But yeah, maybe if there was more content in the middle of the map, as most people say. I think Marrakech could even do with a third target, in the middle.
For me, like Sapienza, from a level design perspective, as I was saying earlier, like there's no part of that map that's boring, or you feel like you get that feeling that not much is happening. Whereas in Marrakech, as you say, in areas like the market, it does seem to be just a space filler. Like there's not a lot actually happening there. There's not a lot you can actually do. You kind
Especially
of just,
until the bonus mission. It was just empty.
Yes.
And I thought the protest was such a letdown. If 47 could have done something to like trigger them to storm in, cause pandemonium in the embassy, that would.
Only problem with that is I think that was the Razor Zaydan's idea. He wanted them to storm the embassy, so I think you would have caused the coup. The coup. So that might be the issue. Right. Unless you could cause the coup and get him killed somehow because of that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like prison, sniper map prison where you could cause a prison riot.
Yeah, that's it. The riots.
And the problem is also when they meet up, the targets, they go under the map through that tunnel, which is kind of boring. They don't go through the town and again, half of the map remains unused. But I think it's beautiful. I think it's one of my favorite maps visually.
I particularly like the lamp, like the place where they sell the lamp.
The tunnels.
What are they called? The bazaar? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And the shisha cafe is awesome.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And also the kills there. Zaydan is great target. The toilet kill. Where you throw a toilet in here. The turret kill where you blow them up, it's a huge explosion. I remember when I was playing it first time and it was just boom, boom, boom. I was
that was amazing.
It's all over the top.
And that Easter egg where you get Zaydan to dance.
Oh yeah.
The party.
And I thought
the mood dropping awesome.
Moose is a classic.
And the interview mission story, that was pretty cool.
Also, the printing press was extraordinarily violent at the time. When you
Yeah,
push
yeah.
him into the printing press,
Yeah.
he just disappears. Yeah. I'm like, whoa. All right.
Did his guts fly off
Yeah, that's a
everywhere? I
bot
can't
kill.
remember.
That's a Tomorrow Never Dies kill.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, it is too. Yeah.
There we go.
They'll print anything these days.
Yeah, that's right. The really cheesy line.
Alrighty. So we'll give it to Chung Ching. I'm Ton here. It's really hard for me to vote. I love and bet equally, but we'll take your guys' votes in here. Alrighty.
Yeah, that is a hard one.
I mean, as said, I don't like Bangkok, but all other maps, I enjoy them.
Yeah.
I can play any of them anytime, really.
Alrighty.
So it's not that I dislike one, it's just that you have to vote one.
I think that's going to be the case throughout all of these. Like, we're going to, in some way, like every map. It's just
We
we have to be ruthless. Especially the next one, Mumbai and Miami. Now, for some people, this is easy. For some people, this is really difficult.
Yeah, for some people, this is easy.
Yeah. I think I could know what Reaper will say, but yeah.
For me, obviously the main strength for me with Mumbai is the Kashmiran, or Kashmirian, however you say it. But I have to go Miami. I just think, obviously that one mission story in Mumbai is revolutionary and so cool how you can take it in so many different directions. But I just think from a level design perspective, from an aesthetics perspective, from the use of space, the target routes, like especially Sierra Knox, her route starting out on the race car track is the most unique route of any target in the whole game. So I think Miami, personally, easily takes it. But I am interested to hear what you have to say, Tim, about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let Philip go first because I'm still thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love Kashmiri and it's my favorite thing in the whole game. I remember like going through it first time and then again trying to break it as it mentioned with the sniper rifle. And whatever I did, they had a script for it and something happened, something new, something different, new kills. The train kill, so memorable.
Yeah.
The fan kill where it's quite great. I even like the streets outside. I like walking through them. It's easy to get lost, but I do enjoy them. And one thing I dislike is the rooftops. You can actually transfer through town to rooftops, but I never use that. And I don't see anyone using it. It's just, I don't think like in Chongqing, I can use it. I use those rooftops. You can also go through rooftops and use them. In Mumbai, it's just, I don't think they made it approachable enough.
I think they feel too dangerous. I think there's too many guards up there.
Yeah.
And in Mumbai, they've also put in all these cool little shortcuts, but they're very hard to kind of find, which I suppose some people would argue is a good thing. But because so much of the map, all the color schemes are quite bland, and it's kind of, as Philip was saying, it's very easy to get lost. And I just think.
Which does reflect Mumbai in real life. Like,
that's a very valid point.
They did go visit Mumbai before developing it. They said that they were there checking it out and they made it.
I can tell. Yeah. All right. I absolutely love Mumbai more than a lot of people, I think. It is exceptional. Like, I find the map exceptional. It's one of the only maps I still don't know off by heart. I still can't, like, map out the city, really. Like, I don't really understand it, even though I've played it a lot.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But I might have to give it to Miami because it's so good. I absolutely love Miami. Oh, and that hurts me. This is the hardest one for me so far. But damn, I love Miami for all the reasons you guys stated. Yeah. But,
and I think Miami is, I might be wrong here, Miami was the only one developed by two teams. One developed the racetrack site and one developed the park. And
oh, really? That's
true. I didn't know that.
I think that's cool. I think it's the only one who was split in half. And then, like when they interact in the race, like the kill where you push him, push the Kronstadt on his daughter's car.
Yeah, that was so
and
cool.
if you time it just right, she's gonna pull on the car and you kill them both instantly, and it's so good. It's one of my favorite kills.
That's a great kill. The tree falls on the apple. I think it's cool.
I remember when Hitman 2 was being advertised pre-launch, and IO were putting so much emphasis on Miami, and everyone was like getting worked up about why that was. Like, why aren't you showing us more of the other maps? And I just think that's because Miami was just so much more kind of interesting.
You played it early though. You played it before it came out, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that is true. I did get a little sneak peek of it, but definitely not enough to get a good idea of what the map was all about. Yeah.
And getting lost in game, which I don't think it's bad. I enjoy getting lost in Mumbai because it's part of the experience. But in Miami, you have those lines that actually lead you, VIP area, toilets, and things like that, right? As you have in events. So you actually, it's very friendly for the new players because if you remember the lines on the floor.
The little like colored things that sort of point around.
Yeah, the colored things. One leads you to parking, one leads you to VIP area. So that's also great, though.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
good point. Yeah.
You can't get lost. You find everything super easily.
Yeah, it's all mapped out for you.
But it's not too much in your face. I don't like when it's like too much in your face. But then I feel like game is telling me I'm stupid. But no, it works here because it's an event. So it's just.
I know what you mean.
Just well designed.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, what's your vote for this one, Philip?
Miami.
All right, easy. Miami. This one's going to make a lot of people mad, I think. New York and Berlin. That's another tricky one.
That's tough. That's the toughest one yet.
I have to run on instinct on this.
I know what Philip's going to say.
Yeah. I'm going to say Berlin immediately. I love New York, but I have to say Berlin because it is like totally my jam as a Hitman mission. It reminds me of Murder of Crows a bit. Has that same vibe for me. You like listen to the radio and sneaking around.
Use the earpiece the audio feed to see how you can locate your targets. And I love not being guided around to do everything. You just have to figure it out again, like old school Hitman.
And no equipment if you play the first time by the mission story. You can with nothing.
No equipment at all. First time you play, actually, they only make you kill technically 4 targets because the first target's just handed to you, which is kind of good to guide you through the first time so you sort of get a grip on the mission. And then it's 5 targets. So, I absolutely love that mission so much. The art design, they must have so much fun designing the graffiti on the walls. Yeah, I mean, so amazing. Yeah. But and
the tree kill where tree lights on fire and you're a DJ and it's
unforgettable.
It's one of my faves. Yeah.
Such a good.
Did you want me to go next, Philip, or did you want to?
Yeah, go next. Sure. I think you're gonna go for the bank, so I think it's more balanced. But I'm not sure.
I think the bank's got probably one of the best level designs of any map, if not the best. That's obviously its main strength. It was refreshing at the time when it released to have a single target, to have a more condensed map. But on the flip side, just the replayability that's created by all the diversity of the different array of methods that you can use to take out your targets. Like there'd just be 1,000,001 ways to complete that map. Like with all having 5 different targets, and then there'd be so many different ways you can kill each target. And it's just the music. It's a very unique location. We've never had I mean, I know 47's never gone to a bank either, but he's also never been to a rave.
He has sort of. He went to the hell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Okay. No, that's true.
And not quite to this extent, but he went to a small little, No,
that's true. And he did go to that nightclub in Contracts, the Meat King.
He did. All right, never mind. He's been to plenty of raves.
Yeah.
He's well traveled.
He's a party boy.
But there was something special about this one.
Yeah.
I felt like the dance floor was just so well replicated.
It's also a terrifying mission to play the first time because none of the targets appear on the map.
Yes. Yeah. It's scary. And you feel hunted. You
do.
Yeah.
I think that's the only flaw it has, that AI isn't more aggressive towards you. I mean, if they see you, they chase you as regular enforcers, and I would prefer if they just maybe opened fire just instantly, and then because like this you can, like this they're just the replayability. It's still fun, but when you know who they are, it's not that big of a problem. But bank. I just want to praise bank a bit because it's my favorite of Hitman 2. I think it's just so well designed and so small yet so compact. And initially, I think Fabian was supposed to be the second target, and they they removed that and they gave us another
Objective.
option with the instead of save, they gave us you can gather the
Which was really smart.
pieces.
Yeah,
Which was good because
instead of getting
it doesn't get repetitive. Yeah,
Especially because now you can do accident knockouts. There's lots of different ways to take them out. It feels like still like an assassination kind of like they can slip up or blow them up with a fire extinguisher or something. They still survive.
And I think that was the first time in the bank where you can remove the sign for the slipping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That was great. And I love that whole storyline.
I love bank.
I love that whole storyline of the security guard winning the lottery as well and it being his last day.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. I think for me, Berlin just takes it because purely just because of the diversity of the map. I also love the way that map opens as well when you're near the petrol station, the gas station for American viewers.
I spent 15 minutes first time trying to get into that
station
and walking around looking for damn keys.
Yeah.
And then shooting the lock.
Yeah. It was a great diversion. Yeah. I like it how you just open up and there's no one around. You really do feel alone, and then all of a sudden,
and then suddenly
in this rave, like what? How we get here? and
before Hitman 3 came out, when we talked about Hitman 3, I was always talking rival assassins. I want rival assassins in blood money. When they are wanting to kill you, there's few of them. There's not that many of them, but they're also chasing you. And I was like, I want that back, and I'm so glad they brought it back.
Yeah,
I think it feels like the stakes are higher almost instantly.
Yeah. All right, we're giving it to Berlin then, but special shout out to the bank because that's great.
Yeah, the bank definitely didn't deserve to go out.
No,
sorry,
bank. This is what happens with randomness. Yeah. Speaking of randomness, this next one, Colorado and Santa Fortuna. Both probably less favored maps, although I'm about to defend Colorado. Yes.
Colorado is definitely more challenging, I think.
I think Colorado has a lot more ways to like chain kills together, kind of. Like you can, when you're doing silent assassin suit only, the challenge is so great that like there's such a height of challenge that for me it's really fun because I'm quite good at the game now. It's really fun to just go back to Colorado and try and take out the targets suit only silent assassin in different orders. And you can sort of chain it out together how you sort of do it, like set things up. And I appreciate it more and more the better I get at the game. Although I'm going to say the map doesn't feel level designed really. It feels like there's a bunch of stuff just locked down in the middle of a farm.
On a field.
And you're like, okay. But you know what? I've come around and I enjoy it for something a bit different. It feels like a different game almost, but I quite like it.
Yeah, it feels like it.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Hawke's Bay and Colorado are the only maps that you start out as a hostile from the get-go.
I think you're right.
I like that aspect of it. That kind of puts an interesting spin.
And Carpathian Mountains, of course. But
of course, yeah.
Santa Fortuna for me, I think I enjoy it. I think it's a good level, but it doesn't have anything like for me particularly like special or amazing about it. Colorado's just unique, so I enjoy it. Yeah.
I kind of see Santa Fortuna as like a carbon copy of a short fall carbon copy of Sapienza, but just set in the jungle. Like it's just set in a town.
I see what you mean.
There's a mansion. There's an underground lair. You know, it's like, but all they've done is taken it from the Amalfi Coast, not the Amalfi Coast, the Cinque Terre in Italy, and put it in Colombia. And it definitely, the village doesn't feel as alive.
It's another case of village. There's nothing to do in the village. There's like one thing in the fishing village.
Yeah,
it definitely seems like a waste of space between the different targets.
They're too much spread around. It could be a smaller map. It would be better if it was smaller.
Even the underground lair, like all the different different passages are very long. There's just not. There's
you just run through them and it's
And what's that old man called? What's that guy? Hector?
Jorge.
He's the most annoying target in the game if you're trying to do something consistently, because he keeps stopping to like cough or whatever, and it is annoying.
And there's not many ways to kill him. There's if you can sabotage something in underground, you can push him by if he goes for the fruit, and you can do it in that chopper hut. You usually do it when you start with this. Yeah, and I think kills are also quite bland. I can only remember the hyper kill when you push him, and the Hector is the main one, yeah, right? Or Hector is the Hector the I don't remember.
He's the brother. He's the
brother, yeah.
Rico is the target, I think.
Rico is the target, yeah. When you push Rico to his hippo and his hippo eats him,
that's a great one.
That's the only kill I can
was a
remember.
cool
Yeah,
kill.
it's a great one, but it's the only one I can remember.
I do like the love letter one, but it's quite mean. Where you give Andrea the love letter, and then what's his name? Hector is standing
That's
underneath when you push her off the ledge. That is so mean to Hector.
Yeah.
And then I think he goes and jumps off a ledge or something.
Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah.
Because he's that devastated.
He goes takes cocaine, I think, first, and then he.
That's it.
Of course.
So yeah, no hate to Santa Fortuna, but I'm going to give it to Colorado personally. But I can understand if you guys disagree with that. Yeah.
No, I'm going with Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. They're very like, I think that's the closest. I'd kind of like them on the around about the same level, but I'm just basing my decisions based purely on how which one I've gone back and replayed more for enjoyment, and it's definitely been Colorado. So.
Yeah, same. Santa Fortuna isn't very replayable because of those distances. It takes a long time, so you don't put it on.
There's plenty of maps that I go back and play for my own enjoyment. Santa Fortuna is never a map I go back and replay. I
only replay it when I do the whole run.
Yeah, exactly. Or if there's an elusive target or something in there. Yeah.
Alrighty. This is the last round for this section. And this is 3 maps against each other because I don't know what I'm doing. we have Dartmoor versus Hokkaido versus ICA facility.
Wow. ICA facility is pretty much null and void, isn't it?
I think we can ignore that. Although a special credit for being a very good tutorial for a video game.
Yeah. And the
jet ski kill is cool. Yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
So yeah, it's no one dislikes those really. They're just like not full Hitman levels really.
No.
It's not.
Yeah.
Ooh, what would
and
you
I
say?
really like the chess puzzle, where you actually have to do the right chess move.
Oh yeah.
To make him. I really enjoy that it's a nice detail. It's not just automatic, it mess up with the pieces, it's just
you have to figure it out.
Just out of curiosity, if it was freeform, no, not freeform training. Is that that's the name of the mission?
Yeah, it's freeform training. Yeah.
Freeform training versus Carpathian Mountains. Which one would you choose?
Freeform training.
Freeform training, I think. What would you do?
I enjoy freeform training.
Yeah, probably freeform training because it's obviously sandbox.
Carpathian, I like still, but I think freeform training was especially because that was like the first Hitman thing I ever played because it was like the beta version when it.
No, it's the final test. I just checked. We're talking wrong. Freeform training is the
Oh, the one.
Okay.
The final
this
test.
is the final test.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry, for anyone watching, listening. I meant the
final
test.
The final
test. Still.
Final test. Yeah. Anyway, sorry to bring up a.
And the final test actually, back to bracketeering, I want to mention the final test actually did quite well. It got 14% of the votes against Dubai, which is
really?
a lot for a tutorial. Yeah, so
that is
I expected him to get absolutely slammed, but he didn't.
Yeah, wow.
It was one of the levels that surprised me.
All right.
But yeah, which two are Dartmoor and Hokkaido?
Yeah.
Oh, Dartmoor and Hokkaido, God. As much as I love Dartmoor, I'm going to have to say Hokkaido. I think more for the nostalgia. It's part of that classic Hitman 1. For the 3 packages of maps from each entry of the trilogy, despite it having Bangkok in there. I think the first package of maps is like the most classic selection of levels out of the 3 maps. So I'm going to say Hokkaido. But obviously there's aspects of Dartmoor that I love, like the detective story and the setting and the target, the single target. Obviously killing, what's her name again?
Alexa Carlisle.
Alexa Carlisle, she's a great target.
One of my favorite targets.
But again, we've had so many maps with a mansion, Sapienza, Columbia, plenty of others with that kind of wealthy aristocratic setting, and that for
Yeah.
me.
I think there's more mansions now than hotels in Hitman.
Yeah, Haven Island as well. That's another one, and even just in this trilogy alone, there's a lot of that kind of formula becomes a bit repetitive.
And there's nothing like Hokkaido either. There's no other hospital in the new Hitman games.
No, not
medical.
not
There's
in,
not medical.
not
sort
in
of
this
facilities.
trilogy. There have been obviously there was a hospital in Hitman 2: Silent Assassin,
Yeah.
and Blood Money,
And in
kind of,
Absolution.
and Absolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Absolution Hospital wasn't very hospital-like, I don't think.
No,
I mean, it was it was non-hospital church.
Yeah. There's not really. Nah. And the hospitals are perfect for a Hitman location, especially one run by an AI. And one of the targets is being stationary is quite unique.
Yeah, that's very unique. I think that's
Yeah.
the only stationary target in the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
And yet it has so many amazing kills. That's
That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna give it to Hokkaido. But Dartmoor, I think out of all Hitman 3 maps, excluding Carpathian Mountains, it's the most underwhelming for me. I think I played it the least. I mean, I like it a lot. I think the mansion is well designed. Secret passages are fun. Target is good. Detective mission storyline is great. But I don't know. It just otherwise felt it kind of felt we saw it. Or besides detective storyline, we saw it already. So
I see what you mean. Yeah. I'll just take this moment to give a special shout out to the. This might surprise everyone. The sloth escalation on Dartmoor is extremely good. I started playing it. I decided to get it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it. Here we go. You know what? They did a lot better. It actually feels like little sandbox missions. It has weird mechanics. It's so interesting. I'm quite big into it. Yeah.
The vitality meter certainly sounds interesting. I feel like if I buy it, I'm going back on everything I said earlier in the year. So
I mean, I already
got to stay strong and not get it.
I've already turned to the dark side, so it's all right.
Yeah, I'm going to wait till it's all out, and then I'm sure it'll go on sale eventually.
I'm not going to recommend. Still, not going to recommend people buy the whole thing straight up or anything. Just do whatever you want. Just wait. You'll be able to see the whole package.
Do you think
they're improving?
Do you think it's worth $7 Australian dollars?
The
third one.
I'll be able to tell you when I've played it more.
Okay.
But it has a lot more replayability in actual gameplay, like good, interesting gameplay than the other ones. So it might be.
But
yeah, we'll see.
I'll consider it.
Yes. All right.
Have you bought it, Philip?
No. I'm under the one just because of that price. It's too much.
How much is it in Germany?
We talked about. I don't want to actually even talk about it because we talked about it all so much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't mean to bring it up for ranting or anything. I just wanted to say, you know what, they're improving. They're getting it right.
Yeah.
All right. Round 2. This will be a bit faster, I imagine. Cool. So, firstly, we have Isle of Scale versus Paris.
Oh, Scale. No, I'm kidding.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm basing that on the name alone. No. Paris? What a boring name.
Paris?
Yeah.
We're going with Paris.
Paris.
Everyone likes
Paris.
Paris.
Yeah, we'll have to go with Paris.
Yeah.
Everyone likes Paris. And ROSK has that problem where it's quite limiting for totally silent assessments. I mean, I think they did it in like 5.3 seconds or something, but it's still
for normal people, it's quite
for normal people, it's quite annoying to do.
Yeah.
Scale is good in contracts mode if people like contracts. It has a lot of opportunities for contracts mode.
Oh, does it?
But I know that's more of a niche thing than the main mission. So.
And what the thing I liked in Scale a lot was Constant also moving around, and he had different AI, so he moved around where you were, he would come. And
I remember you mentioning that during a stream. Yeah. I was like, he does what? Yeah. He follows you? I hadn't even cottoned on.
Yeah, he follows you, but you don't feel like. I mean, it's very well programmed. He doesn't.
Interesting. All right, Paris takes that.
And it doesn't rain in Isle of Scale, does it? It's just all the stormy ocean.
It just stormy.
Creates the illusion.
No, only the bank and Chongqing it rains.
Yeah. I think but special mention to some of the mission stories in Isle of Scale. I like the fact that you could interact with the Constant and like there's that mission story where you can take him down to the water, where you can actually assist Gray with collecting him.
Yeah,
and some of the dialogue they share there is pretty cool.
I also like the mission story where you go and vote on with like the oil executives. At the
yeah, up in
and
the
then
tower.
you just disagree, and then you can
was
go
cool.
up and throw her in an iron mate.
It's
So good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But challengers are kind of bland also. They are just
Yeah.
collect 50 coins or walk with as a knight on those
Yeah.
panels.
They actually removed a challenge or two from the level
Yeah.
back in Hitman 2. One was like throw 47 people into the ocean or something, and I was like,
really.
what's the
dumb.
point of that?
The one where you had to dress up as a knight and stand
Yeah.
in the different locations was so shit. Like, I swear, what were they thinking when they made challenges like that? Just
but
so frustrating.
by design, like just by the way it looks, it's one of my favorites. So gothic and
Yeah.
Yeah.
The music's really good.
Music's fantastic. Probably some of the best
It's fantastic,
music in the whole trilogy in that level. Yeah.
in the whole trilogy.
All right. So next we got Dubai and Haven Island.
Dubai. I can just say Haven Island was kind of disappointing to me when it came out. After Bank, which I adored, Haven Island felt like again cheap Sapienza. Again, like they're going for the same thing. Rap under the mansion, around like huge area beside the mansion, but it's kind of mostly walking. And I already mentioned 2 mission stories which involved the USB stick. I have a lot of problems with it. The mansion is extremely boring. Targets, not too much of memorable kills. I mean, the double drowning is cool, but it takes ages to do it. Yeah, it takes ages to do it. And
and they did bring back the weight kill from Blood Money, which is quite good. I'm gonna give it to Dubai. I like Haven more than most people, but Dubai is better. in just pretty much every way.
I agree. Don't really have much.
And one thing I dislike in Haven and things people always talk about is the weather change. It is cool, but then you see that AI is still on the beaches. Nobody changes their movements. People are not going to and then it's kind of like they just did it to do it as a gimmick to make people talk about it. They didn't actually put the effort in it or any thought. They just did it.
Just a quick thing.
I don't know. Cool. Just a quick thing to have something to put on the posters people talk about.
Would be cool if in a future Hitman game they incorporated that as a game mechanic. I
mean, I expected that to happen, and when I played it first, I kind of assumed it happened. I didn't go by the beach again, but because I had the match to kill for the last. But I kind of assumed people went, and then I saw that everything's the same, and I was just like, this is. And challenges are also boring. Collect fish, collect banana, collect the leaflets.
I'll just say one thing I did like about the weather change, and that was it did kind of like, especially the first few times you played it and you don't know the map as well. Obviously, the weather effect change triggers once you've killed your first 2 targets. Doesn't matter which 2 you kill. And I kind of felt like the storm almost made you feel a little bit uneasy, like with the thunder and everything. Kind of put a bit of pressure on to kind of get that final target killed successfully. That's the experience I got from it anyway. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I do agree that you're absolutely right. They should have implemented. They definitely should have implemented some AI changes in the NPCs to reflect.
And imagine how much fun would that be if you kill 2 targets and then everything's changed. People start changing their movements.
Yeah,
and each time it would be so replayable.
Yeah. If each target, especially Ludmilla,
you kill different
guy,
2, and then the third one,
their route changes. Like they seek shelter or.
Oh,
It would be so much fun. I think it's a wasted opportunity.
It'd be cool if you could have like a tornado rip through the island and then they all go to underground shelter. And the rest of the levels on the ground.
Imagine that being a kill. Like 47 somehow gets
locks the tornado shelter.
Silence. That's a dance and the tornado comes. That could be a Easter egg.
And the 47's like in the eye of the storm, just standing there as he watches the target.
That'd be so good.
Launch into space in a corkscrew.
Alrighty.
What would his Philip? What would his drab line be for that one? For that kill?
I just
He's
stormed through it.
one-liner.
I can't think of anything else. just storming through it.
Storming through.
Sorry,
but
to,
yeah,
sorry to screw up your day.
Alrighty.
But I love the exit. That's the fun. The secret exits where you swim away on the crocodile.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
I like that one, yeah. Next we have Sapienza vs. Chongqing.
Ooh. I almost
I'm
feel
not
like
sure I'm
saying,
gonna go with popular vote here.
I almost feel like saying Chongqing just to be different.
Almost, I do too, almost, yeah.
Well, Chongqing's my favorite Hitman 3 map.
Mm-hmm.
Sapienza is obviously my favorite Hitman 1 map.
Do we want to be contrarian and get rid of Sapienza? I don't know.
I already see the dislikes on the. People are gonna follow me on Twitch just to
Just
spread
troll
hate
you.
Twitch. I'm just gonna.
You should rename your Twitch to I Hate Sapienza. Just be your Twitch handle. And you get the hate follows. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be so good. And then, but only stream Sapienza. And constantly commentate on
complain
how
about it,
much
yeah.
you hate it.
24-hour Sapienza hate charity stream.
Yeah.
All right. Do we? I don't know.
Yeah, I adore both maps.
I don't want to start this year.
I'm gonna have to say Sapienza. You have
So will
have
I.
to be truthful. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've already we won't ego stroke Sapienza. Hey, should we talk about?
Yeah, I mean, just few highlights. Like when you start, when you go from that train through that railway to the city, and the atmosphere, the rain, the colors, the lights, the neon lights. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's the most immersive level of them all. I think it's just you feel like you're in that town. I think that was the time they actually completely nailed the city streets. In Sapienza they are great, but here it's just you feel like you're there. You're never bored. People are talking around, but there's not too many people. It feels it feels alive.
It's very dazzling, isn't it?
Also, you give them credit. They did something different with the city. People were expecting, I think, another Mumbai for this, but they decided to sort of make it just a little city block, which I quite liked. It was a bit different and made it more intimate feel. Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, and it felt like going home in 3 a.m. So when you're going home in 3 a.m. and nobody's there almost except few homeless people and few people.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It really felt. I think it was the time they nailed it. I think I'm actually gonna give it a vote. Haters come at me. I've been followers.
Oh, you're gonna give it to Chongqing?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Chongqing.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, by the way, fun fact: the only thing I know nothing about Chongqing actually in real life. Usually, you're familiar with locations. The only thing I know about them, they have the biggest public toilet in the world.
Really?
It would be fun if that was like it was just dark alleys and that huge public toilet in the background.
Biggest public toilet. That's a unique claim to fame. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh. All right. Well,
Come to our city. Come and see our big urinal.
it's free.
It's called. I think it's called Porcelain Palace or something like that.
Porcelain Palace.
Of course it is.
Jeez. Make a perfect drowning location for 40 seconds.
Yeah. That's throwing him at the grenades and drowning targets.
Yeah.
Well, Sapienza wins this round. But,
Just quickly.
I do love it.
Yeah, it's a great map. Yeah. Just for 007 fans, I recently rewatched Skyfall, and there's a scene where Bond goes to Shanghai and fights this opponent, or I'm trying to think of the right word. This other assassin that works for a different faction, like a terrorist organization. I think his name's Patrice, and they just have this amazing hand close quarters combat scene.
And it's just a silhouette.
Yeah, it's just a silhouette, and it occurs in this high-rise building in Shanghai, and you can see like the Shanghai skyline, all these neon lights in the background, and I think that scene.
It's not that
Really.
It's not that I rewatched Skyfall too many times, but I think it's like 55-minute mark.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So if anyone hasn't seen Skyfall, which I think might include Tim,
I think that's the only one I've seen. I just don't remember
you've
it.
seen it. Oh,
I've seen that is the only Bond film I've ever seen.
Anyway, that scene really reminded me of Chongqing, and vice versa.
I have to watch it again. Yeah. Cool. All right. Next we got Miami versus Berlin. Berlin for me. I hate to say it, but Berlin was so good and so unique and special, and I still play it over and over again. Although I played Miami a lot, Berlin is. It's fun to try so many different things, and I've said it all already.
Yeah, I agree. We said already. I'm also gonna go with Berlin.
It's interesting.
It's just the most replayable map, Hitman, I think.
I think Reaper's going to do something different.
I actually would have gone with Miami.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I just love that map. It's my favorite Hitman 2 map. I just love the race. I think it's just so unique and so fun to kill her while she's still going around the track. Love the whole vibe of that map. Love the music. Definitely, you're right. It doesn't have as much replayability as Berlin. But it's still a map I enjoy immensely going back and playing even after all this time. So
I don't think Miami is as beautiful for me as Berlin. I think it's a great map, great design, but I wouldn't, and I'm a big Formula 1 fan, so I don't think it's just like visually as beautiful as some other ones.
It depends
that's
on
my
taste.
take. That's really subjective. Yeah, that's the taste. That's
it's like me being loving Haven Island just because it's a beach is like a dumb way to think of my opinion, but it's like it's so subjective. Yeah. But Berlin is just perfect. Alrighty.
And Berlin, I got the most, if you count in bracketeering, Berlin got the most votes compared to how strong the opponents were. As I posted yesterday.
Yeah, like ratio.
So if you count in that, if you ignore I did the maths to ignore the AI random placement, and Berlin was the most favored one.
Well,
I'm sorry, it's Miami, but it's Berlin.
Oh no,
It might be our first major disagreement.
Democracy rules. Yeah, I think it is actually.
Yeah.
Colorado and Hokkaido. That one's easy.
Yeah. Colorado.
Hokkaido, I think. Whatever.
I'm just trolling now.
No, first thing you say goes on the...
That's a rule. All right, we better go back to when I said... What did I say before?
Yeah.
But that's in Hitman rulebook now. Yeah, the first thing you say.
All right, obviously, Hokkaido.
Yeah. It's just
do we even need to discuss that?
Not really.
I don't think so. Yeah,
it's pretty self-explanatory.
Still, Colorado, we gave it praise already, and I just want to mention the jokes in there, also making them dance the scarecrow on fire the vroom 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 exit, which is just
vroom 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 exit's great. Vroom.
it's so memorable.
And I love the fact that they altered the exits. Remember how the only exit used to be from the underground,
the basement one.
The basement one, and then IO listened to community feedback, I think during Hitman 2 era, and introduced some more exits. Yeah.
The other exits were only accessible in contracts mode, I think.
Oh, really?
Previously. Oh. Yeah, and then they made them available once you go through the storm shelter once, I think.
Right. Yeah. And I bet you anything in Hitman 1 that basement exit is still the only one. They wouldn't have bothered updating that, I don't think.
I don't remember. Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah, and the one thing I love about Colorado, which not many maps have, I love it when you have a sniper's nest where you can climb somewhere and just snipe all the targets from there, where you don't have to move around. Because I think that's what sniper should be, where you have one location, you just snipe all the targets from that one location.
Do you mean the
you
water
have
tower?
That in Colorado.
Yeah, that is a good point. It's just such a shame. I don't know if they fixed it with Hitman 3. I haven't even tried sniping from the water tower in Hitman 3 in Colorado, but last time I did it in Hitman 2, the AI, as soon as you kill someone, the AI know where you are
Yeah, they come to you, but
telepathically.
if you're fast enough, you can do it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I guess I was never fast enough.
And I like that, and I like that, and I like things like Marrakech, where you have to climb on one rooftop to snipe one target, and you have to go down and climb on another. It's kind of I like one sniper's nest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially in the days of Hitman 1 where there were no briefcases.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
It's like unless you had 2 sniper rifles, so it's, no way of easily navigating the map with one. Unless you had a disguise that allowed you to.
Yeah, that would allow you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And most disguises were, I don't know, I'm not sure is that the case anymore, but if you were just the guard with a sniper rifle, it was still illegal.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think I remember that too, yeah.
In 2016, at one point, guards could carry sniper rifles.
And then they patched it.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like now, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. We're into the last 5 now.
Oh, right.
So this is going to be 2. One bracket will be 2, and the other one will have 3 against each other, which is going to be nightmarish. Firstly, we have Paris versus Dubai.
That's not the obvious one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we'll go for
Paris.
Yeah, Paris.
Yep.
Although Dubai is, cool map.
Yeah.
Very unique in its setting. Love the cloud, being up in the clouds.
Yeah, Dubai's good, like very good. Obviously, you got to the top 5, but Paris, it's got to be.
Again, I'm not a fan of vertical Hitman maps because you end up with a situation like you do in Bangkok where you can climb on 2 ways and it's boring. But in Dubai, they nailed it. They had the shortcuts. You first have enough of the options and with pipes and the staircases, 2 staircases, I think. Then you add shortcuts, so it's next time you play you have the new ones. Then you add elevators, so next time you play you also have the elevators, and it's kind of very replayable, and you keep getting new content actually in new ways. The more you play, the more. It took me quite a long time to do the mission story because I don't play with mission story guidelines. I just play as I find things, I do them. And it took me quite a long time to find the elevator gates. So I played Dubai for good 5 hours before I opened the elevator gates.
And I think Dubai was by far the most challenging to get SASO of the Hitman 3 maps.
It might be. I'm trying to think through them now.
Actually, I'd also argue that Carpathian Mountains was the second most challenging for SASO out of the Hitman 3 maps.
Yeah. I mean, I accidentally managed to get SASO on Chongqing, so that one's not. Like, I just actually got a true mission story, so that one's not hard. It might be Dubai, yeah. That's a good point.
Like, Dartmoor's really easy. Mendoza's relatively easy.
Mendoza. I don't remember what I did in Mendoza. Yeah, I think you might be right. All right. Final.
And just the Dubai kill, the best kill, as I like to mention, the Paris is one when you count them all.
That's cool. That was great.
I love that. Yeah, that's one of my favorite kills in Hitman 3.
Yeah, it's a good one. For these final 3, we can do it in 2 ways. We can choose 2 of the 3 to move on to a final semi-final, or we can just choose our favorite out of these 3. The reason I ask this is because it's Sapienza, Berlin, and Hokkaido, which is extraordinarily difficult. So do you want to whittle it down?
Yeah, let's split them.
A bit more.
Split them apart, I think.
Yeah. So we have to choose our top 2 out of these 3 now.
Okay.
Sapienza, Berlin, and Hokkaido. Which of those 2 would you keep?
I'd keep Hokkaido and. Actually, no. Well, probably no. I'll change my mind. Probably Berlin and Sapienza.
All right. Yeah. Berlin's definitely one of mine.
It's so hard because I'm gonna talk it through because we don't want silence.
Yeah.
But Berlin is obviously the thing I wanted. During the whole trilogy, I was hoping for a map like Berlin, and it's great, but it's got that bike area, which is kind of we've seen it all before, so that's the downside. The rave area is amazing. The bike area, not so much.
The bike area is kind of underutilized, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot happening there.
It's not bad. It's just it is a bit like it's less than the rest of the level. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right,
it's not on the same level, definitely.
No.
Yeah.
And it almost, like, if you hadn't encountered it, you probably wouldn't even notice
I didn't see it
it.
first time. I don't think.
Yeah, but it probably like I didn't encounter it the first time I played through either. I don't think, and I finished Berlin and thought that was amazing, you know. So I suppose what I'm getting at is it's still a cool addition, but it's not like a pivotal component of the level.
Yeah. I think the level would be better without it. Well, kind of.
I think it'd be better without it. Yeah. Wow.
I wouldn't go that far. I can see why you say that. I would say for me, it could have been improved, but it doesn't detract from anything.
I love the sniper there, and I would put the sniper still. I would just have a sniper nest up there if I was designing it.
Yeah, especially when you climb the radio tower. That's a cool moment.
Yeah, that's a great moment.
Yeah.
That was actually probably the biggest surprise I got out of any point in the game. When you go through that, you
were streaming when that happened, I think. I
yeah, I
remember
was.
that.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, I went through the tripwire and
yeah,
that was awesome.
like, whoa, what?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. So I'm still gonna put Berlin.
No, I said that because I'm thinking I'm gonna skip on Berlin. I'm gonna go with Sapienza and Hokkaido.
I got 2 for Sapienza. What? 3 for Sapienza?
Yeah. Oh, it depends.
I think we all agree on Sapienza. Yeah.
Sapienza.
Yeah. So
I love Berlin. I think like personally, I prefer Berlin or Hokkaido, but I think Hokkaido is objectively better map.
All right, you're the tiebreaker, Reaper. What's your?
Initially I was going to say Hokkaido and Sapienza down to nostalgia. They're obviously probably the strongest. Aside from Paris, they're the strongest maps out of the original entry. Hokkaido's a little bit like the bank, I find, in its design. It's quite compact. And that's an aspect.
Very small.
Yeah,
which is good.
It's an aspect I really like about it, and the fact that Soda's is stationary almost makes him like only half a target.
He's cool. Like they don't underutilize it. I'll say that.
No
defense. Yeah.
But because it's a compact map, with the fact that he's stationary, it kind of makes Yuki the main sort of focus for me anyway. But I think Berlin is just obviously more unique in its like conception. It's obviously a lot more replayable.
Yeah.
The kills are much more exciting, and if I was streaming, for instance, and I was given the option to stream either Hokkaido for an hour or Berlin for an hour, I'd probably choose Berlin every time because it's just so much more. You're going to get such a more diverse experience from it. So as hard as I love Hokkaido, as hard as it is, I'm going to say Berlin.
Berlin, all right.
Yeah, I don't mind it because I said I prefer it, but just few highlights of the Hokkaido because it's going down. I love how Soder's he stands on one place all the time, but he's got so many memorable kills.
Yeah.
You have the one where you come by the suit in the suit.
Yeah.
That's next to him, and then he wakes up and then he just gets the heart. But
I find it interesting that IO changed his. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, just say that.
I just found it interesting that IO changed his health level in the most recent update. Did you guys notice that?
Oh, really?
No,
yeah. You used to be able to like shoot him in the foot and he'd die, but now if you do that, he just goes into cardiac arrest, I think, and then he's fine. Like they've actually upped his health a little bit.
I wonder if that gets rid of the
amazing. That's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right.
But yes, so there's the Minesweeper kill, which is one of my favorite Easter eggs. Where you do the Minesweeper, so you can trigger the Minesweeper on the operating table, and if you win the Minesweeper, his table explodes and he dies.
I forgot about that, but yeah, that's a great one.
There's where you just where you sabotage
the different medical procedures and and there's a proxy kill as well where you get the surgery.
There's a proxy kill. Sabotage, I wanted to mention it because it's one of the most graphic ones. It's just starts stabbing him.
It's
it's insane.
Brutal.
And taking all his blood.
I mean,
is
Yeah,
pretty
true.
brutal
yeah,
as well.
taking all his blood.
Yeah. Imagine if you could get those
It's
happening
so
at the same time.
And the heart, of course, which most people do, and it was the first time I found it. Oh yeah, the first time I found the heart, I didn't realize the clicky thing, where you can trigger to make him happy and sad, and then he sends the doctor's thing. And I went inside in disguise, and there's the thingy behind the heart where you can make it with French, break it, and then you make the whole room cold, and then the guards leave to warm themselves up. And I don't see anyone doing that, and I think it's a good move.
I didn't find that for about a year after first playing the level. Yeah,
I found it the first time because I didn't find the other thing. It's and the Easter eggs also. I'm rambling. I had half a coffee this morning. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because Godzilla Easter egg, amazing. If you know the Godzilla one. There's also Haunan Tazent Easter egg, where you can also trigger him to become start speaking like Space Odyssey.
I don't remember.
If you go by the guards. Yeah,
that's
that's
cool.
that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
There's Portal Easter egg, I think also. I don't remember that for sure. I think there was a Portal Easter egg.
It's with the little ball, I think. The ball in the guard room. It's sort of, there's something about it rolling around or something. I can't quite remember, but...
Isn't there a volcano?
I remember it being there, but...
Isn't there a volcano Easter egg as well?
Yeah, you can make volcano raptors.
Yeah.
It's so many Easter eggs. It's so much fun to play around. And the jokes are also great. It's a really good map.
Such a good map.
That's why I have to give it to. That's why I gave it the vote to Hokkaido, because it's got so many.
It's a fair vote.
So many things.
Well, we're down to the this is the semi-final. So we got Paris versus Sapienza versus Berlin. We have to kick one of them out. Paris, Sapienza, and Berlin.
It's gonna have to be Berlin for me. Sorry, Tim.
That's all right. I'm gonna be controversial and kick out Paris, which I hate to do so much. But
guys, I'm gonna be even more controversial, and I'm gonna kick out Sapiens.
Oh wow!
Oh, we're at a stalemate.
So,
all
right. How do we?
I'm guessing we're ending the podcast here.
Now we all kick each other off this channel.
All right, we're gonna have to. This is where debate comes into play. We're gonna have to have some friendly debate.
I think I have the hardest job, so I'm gonna come last because I need to think about it at least.
So, the reason, can I go first?
Yeah,
I think I'm mainly choosing Sapienza and Paris out of nostalgia. Sapienza, I think, obviously we've gone over why it's such a good map. Paris is like, I remember Frody saying Paris is his favourite map when we had him on the podcast. It's just like the level that they spent 3 or 4 years of development solely on Paris. That was like their very first map that they started creating after Absolution. And they wanted it. They put so much into that map. I love the targets as characters. They're fantastic. This married couple that absolutely despise each other. All the kill opportunities, the fireworks. Still one of the best mechanics of any map ever. I just love the fact that you can distract guards, and there's just so many uses for it.
Yeah, that's great.
There's still things, like I was playing Paris the other day. I was trying to work out if I could set the fireworks off without using the remote. So I was standing on the main sniper tower that you use. It's actually one of your starting locations that you can unlock. And I was like I was experimenting with throwing explosives and using a sniper rifle to try and shoot the fireworks that are in the boats to see if I could set them off. Like, there's still things in Paris that I experiment with, like even like 5 or 6 years later. So I suppose that's why I choose Paris over.
Good argument. Yeah. I think the only reason I would kick out Paris, because I love the other maps, but also just I've played it so much that I understand it so much. I could not play it again, and I feel like I'd have a quite like my memories would be enough. But I don't know. It's like that's a very weak argument.
I think you've probably played it like more than say I have. So I haven't played Paris in a fair while actually. I mean, I have played it during streams where I do a whole trilogy run or something, but I always use the same method, so it's not as fun when I do it that way. But when I just go in and muck around, still I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. But maybe that's where subjective comes into play, because based on like your differing experiences with the level, it can change your outlook.
I'll just say I'm willing to change my vote to kicking out any of these maps, depending on what Filip says now. Yeah, we'll see what he says.
So you're kicking out Sapienza, Filip. Is that right?
Yes, Filip. How do you justify kicking out Sapienza? Because that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, sit back, guys, because this is gonna take 20 minutes. It's an amazing map, but when I go to play Hitman, it's not. I want to play a map which I keep using, and I don't use Sapienza that much. Like in Berlin, each step of the way you're using it, because there's 10 targets around. Everywhere you go, there's a target. There's some way to manipulate it. It's amazing. And I'm the one who was going to say to throw out Berlin before. In Paris, it's so fucking replayable. I mean, it's the best mansion there was. I mean, I don't think Hitman will ever make the mansion that's as good as Paris is. Now, to force of Sapienza to get the haters, I really dislike the mansion is the only thing that's important in the main storyline in World of Tomorrow. I really dislike that. I just yesterday when I played, because I played the game before we filmed this. Yesterday when I played, I figured out the new kill, which is amazing. I didn't know that you could because I went on more of exploring things, and you obviously get caught. And Caruso was fleeing, and I was chasing him, and he entered his plane, and then I was just chasing him still and taking a shotgun and shooting him. And as he's flying or like trying to run away, he's going by the edge of the map, and there's a small road by the edge of the map, and you can keep shooting you until you blow up the plane. I never did that before. I didn't know that was a possibility.
I didn't know that either.
I knew you could blow him up with a cannon, because that's the Easter egg. But I didn't know you could just go shoot him, and it's designed that way, which is amazing. So cool. Because there's a plan, like there's a small road you can follow as you shoot him, and you end up by that small ship by the exit. You know, behind the fort there's that exit, and you end up there. So you just blow him up there while shooting him, and you just leave.
Wow! All right,
which is amazing, cool. And I love that. But again, that's all mentioned. That old fort city is still underutilized. And since we said we're judging the main levels, and if we didn't judge main levels, if it was just Sapienza and contracts and everything and the landslide, Sapienza would win. But like this, just that mentioned area, whatever the cool thing there is, it's there. And everything else is underutilized.
Make some good points. There's also the virus. The
virus, obviously, the thing. Nobody likes,
Yes.
You know, I do enjoy it, but realistically, you go to city to get a disguise, to become either a detective, or to wake up a detective, or to become a psychiatrist, or to become the gardener, or to get the church disguise, or the key card in the by the church.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then you go back to the mansion and do everything there. So you just walk for the disguise and back. And the thing I love about it is also the disguises in the town. It feels lived in. I love the town. It's just so underutilized. Like if you go into one house, there's obviously Rocco and his cooking disguise. Then a bit lower, there's a guard disguise, which is also amazing. And then a bit lower in another apartment, there's a church disguise, for those church guys. So it feels lived in, but I
love that.
But you're going just for the disguise. You don't actually do anything. You just go find the disguise and leave.
Yeah, I really like that aspect of it because it kind of makes the town feel lived in, and it feels like these people actually have homes they go to.
I just don't think that they nail. I think they nailed the map, but I don't think they nailed the levels, the missions.
Okay. I might.
No one's swayed by anyone's arguments.
No, all right. Let me think through this. You have to think in fine details. I think Philip might be onto something with Sapienza's. If we're just judging the main missions mostly, like, and Philip just said before, landslide is his favorite mission, so he's got a strong mind to be able to say Sapienza isn't. He's going to kick that out, but I think the virus and the fact that both targets are in the mansion are quite good arguments for kicking Sapienza out from this specific competition.
When we upload this, please let me know how many people stopped watching it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I suppose you could argue that.
Yeah.
I just think it more from like Berlin is obviously great for its diversity and its replayability, but from aesthetically, from a mission story standpoint, from nostalgic value, I don't think it's as strong as Paris or Sapienza.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Philip's going to stick to his guns on Sapienza team, so it might be up to one of us
all right,
to concede.
You know what? I'm going to kick out Sapienza.
Okay, yeah, why not? Make it interesting.
Goodbye, Sapienza. I think you have some good points with not the last point, but the ones in the cave, specifically the cave and the mansion, are the main mission set there, and I don't know. I absolutely love Sapienza. But
just remember, everyone, this is Tim and Philip kicking out Sapienza here, not me.
Yes.
Since I mentioned it already,
please
it's somebody from Iowa.
Please keep watching and listening to the podcast. So,
alrighty.
Where does that leave us?
Yeah.
We are left with Paris and Berlin.
Okay.
Here we go.
I mean, nobody's watching.
Well,
we can talk about anything now.
Everyone's gone.
You guys obviously know what I'm going to choose because,
yes, you're Paris.
So I'm Paris. Yeah.
We have a lot of power right now. I think I just have to still go with Berlin. I love Paris immensely, but I almost kicked out in the last round, and I got to stick to that. Berlin is just like an apex level, no pun intended. It is like a classic. For me, it will become a classic Hitman mission in the future. I think people will look upon it as fondly as Paris and Sapienza, especially if you're playing it not just for like the story, but if you're playing it, it feels like almost like a Blood Money level, like just sort of roaming around trying to spot the little kills and such, and it just feels so good. I love that mission so much, so I have to choose Berlin. Okay. So it's down to you, Philip.
I mean, I threw Berlin out before with Hokkaido. And it's I think if I have two levels that are on equal basis for me, it's those. I expected when I mentioned racketeering, how I wanted to mix it up a bit to make it that my favorite levels stay in longer, and I didn't, and not my favorite but just better levels. And I was thinking of putting Paris and Berlin on different sides, so they would both have a stand a chance to fight. It's two of my favorites, stand a chance to fight finale. And also Berlin did win our community thingy. I mean, Sapienza won it, but Berlin got the most votes overall. If you count in,
which says something.
Which says something, Yet Paris is brilliant. It's the best mention. And
can I just say something?
Yes, I can decide. Yes,
I think Paris also set the benchmark for the entire trilogy too. It was the kind of foundational level that kind of set the trajectory of the entire series. And although, as Tim says, Berlin is a very special map as well, because it kind of put that benchmark that much higher. I still don't think you could have a map like Berlin without Paris. Because Paris was kind of that, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I've just remembered one thing about Sapienza. You can add that in later to the back thing. Sapienza, you can break it. If you give she's looking for the password to the safe in the attic, and if you open the safe and give her the hairlock, she's gonna still look she's still gonna look for the password for some reason, and that's also a huge downside for me. Sapienza. You can edit that back in the Sapienza part, or you don't have to. Nobody's watching anyway. But
just jump cut.
I think I'm gonna go with Paris. I'm gonna give it to Paris. It's two of my favorite levels, but yeah,
Go Paris
is just the
already.
benchmark. Yeah. The thing is, I love Berlin. I love everything about it.
All right.
But the thing is, Paris is such a good introduction to new players. Because when you come in, you can do it all in suit, which is something I expect from board game. I expect to be like a lot of suit in missions. And I love that Bond vibe. I had it back in 2016, and I loved it. I love how the targets, Viktor Novikov, as soon as you come in, like there's a spotlight on him. Like literally, he comes down, like hands spread around, spotlight on him, and he's just there. But you just can't just kill him. And you have to find a way, and he's so close. You know what you have to do, and it's such a good introduction. It's so effective.
I think it's such a pivotal map because it sets the tone for the whole trilogy in various ways, like the whole globe-trotting thing, just the glitter and the glamour of taking out wealthy sycophants, and it's just it's such an approachable mission too, kind of like Berlin. It's probably one of the most approachable missions.
Yeah, it's super approachable.
Not as approachable as Berlin, obviously, but
you don't spend ages looking around for stuff. I mean, in some later missions, like Mumbai, which is outside, you would spend ages just going around looking for a poison or for something. And in Berlin, you just go to kitchen, or you go to basement, you find red poison, or you go to attic, you find red poison. It makes sense for it to be there. It's not, but
yeah. Well, I think I'm
kills are good. Kills are also great.
Oh, there's some great kills in Paris. Yeah. I think I'm actually happy about the result in the end. I think I'm alright with that.
Yeah.
Paris is very, very good. I can't take anything away from it. Yeah.
Frody will be happy.
Frody, this one's for you. Yeah.
Imagine if it had been something like I don't know.
Something like really. We could have made
Abstract.
this a joke where we like eliminated the best maps over time, and people just got incredibly mad.
Maybe
we ended with Carpathian and Bangkok.
Maybe we could do another, because I've really enjoyed this. I'm sure you guys have too. Maybe next time we could choose like the most underrated maps and do the same thing, but like
that could be fun. Yeah.
Rank.
I mean, like my opinions of maps change a lot. It's kind of like with Bond films. My rankings change each year.
That's a very valid point. Yeah. Like it depends
because
how much
they're also enjoyable. They all have something that's good in them, and they're also different, and they're so enjoyable. And then it depends probably mostly about my mood.
Yeah.
So if I'm in the mood for one
and
thing,
also how much you've played them overall, how often you've played them recently. You're probably going to favor a map more if you haven't played it that much recently, because obviously.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And I love the Paris thing when you become the Helmut Kruger. For the first time, and I remember when I played that for the first time, and I just imagined, how in Star Trek original series, McCoy is always like to Captain Kirk, damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a rocket scientist. And I just imagine 47 being to Diana all the time, damn it, Diana, I'm a hitman, not a runaway model. Or damn it, Diana, I'm a hitman, not a new age drummer. Something like that.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Well, there we go. That's the ranking, the bracketeering effort on our part in this kind of map ranking episode.
Paris is the officially best map. No one's allowed to disagree ever again.
According to Hitman, according to three random dudes on a Hitman podcast.
we claim to represent the world.
At this point in time, if we did it again next week, it'd probably be totally different. But thanks so
missing a
much.
title. We could make it like something the ultimate ranking. All others are false, and get so many clicks by and so many hate comments.
Yeah. It'll be good for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Good for the
It'll be
done.
good for clickbait. Thanks so much for coming on, Philip.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun, and it's
Nice
been...
if you could mention again that I'm streaming.
Oh yeah. Well,
course.
don't forget everyone that Philip's going to start streaming on Twitch if he hasn't already, and we'll leave a link to his...
Thanks, guys, for mentioning it. You didn't have to mention it again. I wouldn't insist on it, but since you did, thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Of course.
Yeah. So it just goes under Filip Ratkovic. You can find it.
Filip Ratko. It's gonna link.
Oh, sorry, Filip Ratko. Sorry, Filip Ratko.
Yeah.
You can find the link in the video description or a pinned comment. Before we go, we're going to do our usual mailbag segment. We'll probably try and not speed through it, but I am conscious of time. This has been a long one.
Yeah,
Might be the longest episode.
Yeah, I think it has been.
Yeah.
But we'll each have a quick look at who's responded and quickly read an answer at each and briefly discuss our thoughts on it.
Yeah.
The question this episode was, what is in theme with the whole map ranking topic, what is the most underrated World of Assassination map and why?
I can start with that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we got Big Marty, Not Marty with a unique answer. I don't know if this counts. It does count, I see. But I feel like all three of the sniper assassin maps should get more praise. It feels really cool to just watch a target from afar and shoot them into a pond or a pile of snow. The targets were pretty cool in all three of these maps too. Also, all three of the maps look really cool, and I believe they deserve more praise.
110% agree. I think,
like
especially the prison map, I love the targets in that map.
Absolutely.
Particularly the prison... Oh, not the warden, the
big guy?
The big guy, the big guy.
That was famous. Yeah.
The only thing those maps like is the save option. If they had save option, I think they would get far more praise.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, very valid.
I'm still baffled why they didn't do that, but maybe some technical reason. I don't know. Yeah.
I suppose, would it be to stop people just getting lots of experience points really fast?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, good answer. Thanks, Marty.
Cord Lonely said, if I may, we never hear about Mumbai, but I think it's one of the best maps in this trilogy. Just a pure number of opportunities. Insane the way to isolate the targets, make them meet up with another target, and the atmosphere in the slums is something different. You are never alone and never safe without any enforcers. And that challenge to find the Maelstrom, my favorite mission stories with the Kashmirian, help him kill two targets, me the third, Mumbai deserves more love. And I think we said all that already. And yes, again, the mission story perspective, Kashmirian is still my favorite.
I still think the Kashmirian makes that map. If the Kashmirian wasn't in Mumbai, it would be kind of like Marrakech, like still a good map, but fairly forgettable compared to the others.
I like it more than that, I think, but I still agree the Kashmirian is probably the best element of that. And like, if you just count the detective, it's the best mission story in Hitman, the trilogy. The detective's more of like a whole plot storyline thing.
It actually,
I
actually really like the soundtrack in Mumbai.
Yeah, that's
something that it's got going for it. It's got a much better soundtrack than a lot of the other maps, particularly when you enter the train yard. Those vocals.
The sort of singing in the background.
Yeah, the angelic vocals. They were so cool.
It has a really good soundtrack, that map. I also like the soundtrack in Rangan's place. It feels really like weird. Like it feels like you're in a sort of place removed from the world below him. And I really
yeah. And the skyscraper is amazing also. It's vertical, but you can climb it in so many ways.
And the whole music video set or Bollywood theme, I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. So thank you very much.
Cold Lonely.
And then finally we've got Jamie. This is a little bit of a long one, so I'll read through it quickly. So probably Marrakech. I know a lot of people enjoy it, but I think it's one of the least talked about maps that aren't simply just bad. Cough, Santa, Fortuna, cough. The diversity between... Love the onomatopoeia there. The diversity between the sophisticated atmosphere of Strandberg's building contrasting with the crumbling and defunct building of Zaydan's military. They are both really great locations, albeit they're vastly differing themes. The streets are very enjoyable and, unlike Mumbai, actually have stuff to do: shops, fortune tellers, etc. The constant music and shouting of store owners reflects, at least I assume, the real Marrakech, not that I've ever been there. All the space is utilised and even managed to create a bonus mission just as fun as the main one. Strandberg is a good character, really flawed in so many ways. It makes it fun tormenting him in the many ways you can, like a room with a moose especially. That's one of the kill opportunities. Zaydan is less interesting, but it's still enjoyable crushing him with a toilet or blowing him and Klaus to pieces with the mountain gun.
Yes, I think Philip mentioned the mounted gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
We mentioned the moose, I think.
Yeah, we mentioned all the kills, I think.
I'll give a special shout out to the color grading changes when you walk from outside into the consulate. And it really shows the difference between like this sort of Swedish design and the like the dusty pretty much like justified hate and anger outside for the guy inside. Like he embezzled what billions of dollars from this like poorer country than his own.
Major embezzlement.
Yes. Also, I really like when you kill Strandberg. The Swedish flag lowers out in front of the consulate.
Yeah, it goes
to half-mast.
Goes to
really
half-mast, yeah, that's such a nice touch. I actually remember when that was first discovered and someone posted it to Hitman Forum.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I love those subtle details. And I think another thing worth mentioning is the intern. I love it, the way he just meanders around through the marketplace.
That's good fun, yeah.
And is quite challenging to find the first time you go looking for him. And the fact that you can wake up the waiter as well that delivers
with
Zaydan's meal.
One of the easiest proxy kills in the game,
There are some pretty cool aspects to Marrakech that are, I think, swept under the rug. People, no pun intended.
Yes. Alrighty.
But thanks, Jamie. Thank you to everyone else that answered. If you do want to join the discussion and potentially be featured in an episode of Hitman Hideout in the mailbag segment, make sure you join the All Things Hitman Discord and join the discussion. We post a new question every time leading up to a new episode, usually about once every couple of weeks. So, And don't forget to follow Philip on Twitch.
Absolutely,
Thank
follow
you.
Philip.
Thank you.
Philip Ratko.
If you enjoyed this, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
If you didn't, I mean, you can tell me how much you hate me.
But you have to follow him to tell him that, okay?
But you have to. I'm not gonna make it only followers, only chat. So you're gonna have to.
Don't forget that we have an audio version of the podcast. If you're watching here on YouTube, so check out our Hitman Hideout podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Give it a like. Give us a 5-star rating. It really helps. Tell your friends. Just really.
And thank you to the channel members who help us get the audio version up and paid for the hosting.
Yep. Big shout out to them, including both of yourselves. So thanks again for that. All the others, I think there's about 8 or so others that, goes a long way. So if you do appreciate the podcast, do consider becoming a All Things Hitman channel member. It's only a couple of dollars a month and it goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. This was all the time I have. Sorry, guys, I have to leave.
Yep.
Well,
no worries.
leave you.
It's a good episode.
Hopefully this gets commissioned and.
Thanks. Before you go, thanks again so much for coming on, Philip. It's been really cool chatting with you.
I'm just joking. Yeah, I'm also glad that we're actually catching up after so much chatting. Talking.
Of course. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all the best, and speak to you soon. Signing off.
Speak to you soon. Yeah.
See you next time.
That's it.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.